Hi, Maria here. Welcome to my channel. Today, I'm excited to share with you cheapy fragrances that smell expensive. I can't wait to share this list with you. But before we get started, if you haven't subscribed, just go ahead and hit that button. Join the Weird Wonderful family. It would be amazing to have you part of the community. And without further ado, let's get into this. So the first fragrance I want to talk to you about, I don't talk about it enough on my channel, and it is Cashmere by Chopard. This is, to me, definitely a unique smelling fragrance. I would say that I would consider it more of a gourmand. It smells kind of like an apricot vanilla. There's a ton of notes in here. So there's actually no apricot, but there's peach, there's coconut, I think there's mango, there's a ton of fruits, there's a few different florals in here, slightly powdery, and then you've got vanilla, there's patchouli, musk, some woods in here. But what primarily I get is kind of a sweet, quite dense, almost syrupy apricot vanilla. As it dries down on the skin, you definitely get that dense kind of apricot vanilla vibe with just a hint of musk, I would say. So I'm not getting tons of the woods at all, and it stays fairly linear. That said, this is a great fragrance for layering. And yeah, there's a little bit of spiciness to it. The cool thing about this fragrance is that it has been compared to Ylang in Gold by Michael Micallef. Like on Fragrantica, there's, I think, 500 smells like Ylang in Gold, and then 100 that say it's not. So a lot of people have weighed in and feel like it's similar. My guess is that it's not quite as smooth as Ylang in Gold, although I've never smelt it. This also smells similar to Hane Mori, which is also a very affordable, great fragrance. This one, the longevity isn't great on it. You get about 4 hours out of it, but it's just a really nice, to me, it's a very comforting fragrance. It reminds me of my special, wonderful grandma, who was like, she was the most wonderful, lovely, warm person. And so this fragrance reminds me of her. Like I said, a little bit dated. That said, lots of people really love it. And lately I've had a few different people in the community that have said, hey, I really, really love Cashmere. So I thought I would mention it because if some of you are enjoying it, likely quite a few of you will. So if you like kind of an apricot vanilla, very just kind of simple, linear, a little bit dense, not overly long lasting, but great for layering as well. So this is a really neat fragrance. Next, cheapie that smells expensive. And again, when I say cheapie, I'm talking about the price, not the way these things smell. And it is Quatra by Bougie. Now this is absolutely, absolutely stunning fragrance. So this opens up with a bit of bergamot. It smells so refreshing. I just can't even get over it. It's classy, it's crisp. You know, this is a fragrance that I can see wearing like a white blouse and like jeans or dress pants. You could dress this up or dress it down. Very classy, clean, perfect signature fragrance, perfect fragrance for the office. But the cool thing about this one, I would say the way I would categorize this is it's a slightly aquatic rose. So there's bergamot. I think there's watery notes. There's definitely rose in here. There's a little hint of fruitiness in this. And then as it dries down, there's a slight bit of caramel that comes to play. So it gets a little sweeter the longer you wear it. This is super affordable and just gorgeous. So if you enjoy something like Idole, this is Idole, but better to me. Like this is way better than Idole. It's not as good as Idole Nectar. That's like my favorite, but this is absolutely gorgeous. I prefer wearing this in the spring and summer because it's kind of a lighter fragrance. And because it does have that slight aquatic, light, crisp feel to it, I prefer it then. But it's absolutely beautiful. And yes, very classy, very put together, sophisticated Quatra. This is the most expensive on the list, but I really wanted to mention it because it's such a quality fragrance, and it's Donna. Now this is, again, I find I gravitate towards this in the spring and summer more. But this is just an absolute beautiful, beautiful floral fragrance. So Trussardi Donna, it's got some lemon, there's yuzu in here and fruity notes. And so it just feels like tart, but there's a sweetness in this. It has vanilla, there's some woody notes in here. I think there's a few different florals. I think there's jasmine, orange flower, and lotus in here. What I get mainly is that lemon yuzu combination that's just mouth-watering with some beautiful light sweetness. I've said before that this reminds me of like a lemon custard. I think I would change that. It reminds me a little bit of like a lemon Turkish delight. Sweet, not super dense, but sweet, a little bit of creaminess, like I think about the powdered sugar on the Turkish delight, and then just a very light, slightly floral, lemony sweetness. I just think that this is a beautiful fragrance. This is long lasting, like all day long lasting, projects beautifully. It smells, again, very classy, put together, feminine. It's fun to wear, it's energetic, and I just love this bottle, and I love that sound. Like I cannot get enough of that little click sound. Somehow it makes me happy, but love the bottle, love the fragrance, and it's a decent price. Like this is under 50 US. So it's a little bit pricier than the rest of them, but it's slightly under 50 for a 50 ml. So gorgeous fragrance, definitely, if you want something that's beautiful, long lasting, high quality, smells like you're a lady. Trussardi Donna. So the next cheapie that smells luxurious and expensive is Rare Tiffany by Afnan. So first of all, I love the color of this bottle. I love the turquoise around here. It sounds cheap, so that's disappointing. I think the cap is metal, so this part sounds cheap, but I think it looks really pretty. So I like the way the bottle looks. The fragrance reminds me of a sweeter yellow floral version of Quatra. So Quatra, nothing like this really, but somehow they kind of remind me of themselves, except this is sweeter. So the yellow floral is Ylang Ylang. Now Ylang Ylang is very heady. So any yellow floral, it's gonna smell a little bit tropical, but very heady. And I would say that this is definitely heady. So some people can tolerate rose in fragrances because rose is somehow a little bit sweeter, not as heady. Like so, white florals and yellow florals are an acquired taste. So I find that the Ylang Ylang in this is definitely the star of the show. And then it has jasmine and rose in there as well, but they're just kind of supporting this massive Ylang Ylang that's just kind of in the forefront. And the Ylang Ylang stays in the front the whole entire time. So you've got to like Ylang Ylang, you've got to like heady florals, but this is just so pretty. Like somehow I just find it really relaxing. Now Ylang Ylang can come across slightly banana-esque, so like almost, it's definitely floral, but with a slight just touch of a banana vibe in here. So that's what I get. Then this has musk, sandalwood, and vanilla. I guess I get a little bit of that muskiness. I definitely get a little bit of vanilla. And then the base is ginger, pink pepper, and caramel. To me, it almost feels like all of those things should be reversed and you should be getting the ginger and pink pepper first. I honestly find that this is very linear. I don't feel like it develops a whole lot, but what I do notice is as it develops, more of that sweetness keeps coming out. This is a powerhouse. Like this is a massive powerhouse. Like as far as projection is concerned, you get a major scent bubble with this one. So you have to be a little bit careful with it. I find that it dies down though quite quickly. So at about the 5-hour mark, I'm not smelling it very much at all. That said, it's an affordable fragrance for sure. And if you like those tropical florals, it doesn't smell tropical though. It's a headier type floral, But what it comes across as is kind of a vivacious, classy lady. So, you know, those super extroverted, like type A's that are just like busy bees, and they're always, they look very fantastic. I would say that they're the ones that are like involved in lots of different types of clubs, and you know, they're always busy. They're going out on the weekends. They're, you know, they're just busy. And they, you know, they get their job done right away. They're not the boss, but they get their job done. They're super efficient. You want them in your office. They're kind of chatty, a little too chatty at times. That's what Afnan reminds me of. That said, I'm really glad I have it in my collection because it just smells somehow relaxing to me because of the ylang-ylang. Now, my friend Hessie, she's the one that bought this. She didn't like it, so she passed it on to me. So it's definitely not for everybody, but it's definitely worth a sniff. There's a bit of a cleanness to it, again, because of that heady floral. I oftentimes will associate like a yellow floral, white floral combo, or a white floral to a little bit of a clean, almost shampoo-y vibe. Definitely you get that with this. So I hope I haven't turned you off by my description, but super affordable and really pretty decent fragrance for sure. Now, my last cheapie that smells just fantastic that I can't get enough of, and it should have been on my I Can't Stop Sniffing It video. I totally forgot because I really can't stop sniffing it, is Modeste Deux by Afnan. Now again, like this one is around 30 US. So really great price. This smells similar to La Nuit Trésor. So if you love La Nuit Trésor by Lancôme, but you don't want to go with that price tag, this is a fantastic option. Now, there is also Le Rive's Taste of Kiss. I like this better. So Le Rive's Taste of Kiss smells similar to La Nuit Trésor. This smells similar, but it's better. So this one has a little bit of cherry in it. The chocolate really comes out. There's a bit of spiciness to it. Longevity, again, 5-6 hours, I think. So not massive longevity, but it's delicious. This slowly morphs on the skin and gets deeper and more chocolatey and delicious as you wear it. So it opens with strawberry, raspberry, and cherry. I definitely get the cherry. I get the raspberry, like just a bit of raspberry in there. There's vanilla and spices. I definitely get the spice. So La Nuit Trésor to me doesn't really have a spice. I don't get cherry at all in that. So this one, to me, it's actually better. Like, it's just better. For 30 bucks as opposed to like 150 or whatever the Lancôme is, I would go with the Afnan one for sure. And then this has patchouli, musk, and gardenia in the base. Don't really notice that. Very similar to La Nuit Trésor, but better with some spices, a little bit of extra chocolate and cherry. And actually, the presentation on these Afnan bottles, like, I actually really like them. Like, they're really decent. So look at these colors together. Awesome. But anyway, this is a fantastic fragrance. This is one of my current favorite fragrances for sure. So just so happy with Afnan. Really decent. Although this one is deep, sexy, mysterious, sensual, great for date night. This is one that I would wear all the time because it's just juicy and delicious. And I actually think this one will work in the summertime as well. So I don't feel like it's so heavy or dense that you couldn't wear it all year round. So this is definitely, out of all the fragrances that I mentioned, this would be my top pick. The next one, honestly, would be Trussardi Donna. If you had these two and that was it, you'd have a beautiful signature fragrance and a beautiful date night fragrance. This combo would run you about $70 US, which for two gorgeous fragrances, you can't go wrong. So those are awesome. What about you? What's your current favorite cheapies? Leave them in the comments. It's always helpful, you know, especially right now when pennies are tight. Being able to get a new fragrance like this one, 100 mils for just a little over 30 bucks US, like it's what can I say? Like, that's just a happy surprise, right? So I always like bringing cheapies to you. I want to bring ones that are sophisticated, smell good, have decent longevity. And so, yeah, those are the ones that I have for you. What about you? What are your favorite cheapie fragrances? So in other words, they are affordable, but they smell fantastic. They smell more expensive than they are. Leave those in the comments. I would love to know. And other than that, I hope you have an amazing week, and we'll talk to you soon.